So for more than half of my life, I have been playing the guitar. I have the incredible good fortune that I get to make all of my living as a professional guitarist. I teach guitar, I record guitar on records, and I play live shows. It's great. I've toured the country, in my case that's Canada, as the leader of a jazz guitar trio. I've toured in punk and metal bands as well, and it's great. So for the better part of half of my life, the guitar has been my main thing. But I recently embarked, in the last 30 days, on a journey, and I'm going to tell you about why I went on that journey in a second. But I have been learning the piano. And I just wanted to make a video talking about, kind of in this first month of me playing the piano, some things that I've learned that apply to my guitar playing and music in general. But first, let me tell you why I'm learning this wonderful and confusing instrument. So my beautiful and amazing mother recently retired from 32 years of being a public school teacher. It might have actually been longer than that, might have been a little bit shorter, a little bit fuzzy on the details, probably should have looked it up before starting this video. But anyways, my mom has recently retired, so she has some more time on her hands. And my mom, on her side of the family, there is a bit of a streak and a inclination towards dementia in older age. And so my mom wants to help try and ward that off by learning an instrument. And my parents had a piano in the house always growing up. I never really played it, but my brother and sister both took piano lessons. And so she wanted to do that because there's a lot of studies showing that playing a musical instrument can help preserve your brain health and can help ward off things like dementia. So my mom asked me about a year ago if I would teach her. And I thought, yeah, of course, I'll hang out with my mom an hour a week and help kind of share what I learned. But the problem is, whenever you do a music degree, and I have a degree in jazz performance, it's very common that you have to take some piano courses. And I have to say that was the one course in my entire degree that I paid pretty much no attention in and got nothing out of. I think I probably held the record for being the music major who graduated with the worst skills on the piano. So I've had to go through, and I'm working on a book with my mom right now, and I've been watching YouTube videos and everything because I understand a hell of a lot about music, but the piano, not so much. So drilling in the correct fingerings and everything has been really important for me. I've been doing lots of scale practice, lots of kind of triad stuff, and all of these pieces from this adult beginner book that my mom and I are going through. And I just wanted to share some of the things that I've learned on this journey that I've taken to the guitar and applied, because there are 3 steps that can apply to music or in a lot of aspects of your life. And the first thing that I wanted to say that I noticed in practicing piano for 30 minutes a day for 30 days is how much less negative self-talk I have. I think as a professional musician, this is really, really common. Even I see this in my students, where when there's something like music that we're working on and we're trying to get better at, and it's something that, we kind of tie our identity into a little bit, like, I am a musician, I am a this. When we make mistakes or things don't go as well as we'd like them to, or if we are taking longer than we would like to understand certain things, I start talking to myself really mean. But on the piano, the beautiful thing has been, because I don't play the piano, I have no expectation of myself to be a piano player. I'm a lot nicer to myself when I make mistakes, basically. And that's something that I've tried to bring into my guitar playing when I've been working on, music for upcoming projects, and I've been learning songs and whatever it is. If something's not coming to me instantly, I'm trying to get away from just defaulting to, oh, that's bad, or oh, that's this, or oh, that's that. And it's been really, really kind of helpful to realize some of the utterly ridiculous things that we can say to ourselves when, our practice or whatever we're working on isn't going our way. So the first thing that I've kind of taken away from this is, oh my God, be nicer to yourself, because it's not that serious. And again, it kind of took me having this lens through which I don't normally think of myself as a piano player, so I'm kinder to myself to go, oh, I'm way too hard on myself for, the main thing that I'm objectively very good at. And, music is hard and it takes time for everyone and anything that you want to do. So that's been a really fun takeaway that I've kind of taken away from this experience. Now, the second thing that has been huge for me that I'm bringing to my guitar playing as well is I have when I'm practicing the piano, I have a really hyper intense kind of awareness of sound. And so what I mean by that is how things actually sound. So I use this wonderful Nectar MIDI keyboard hooked up to a grand piano patch on a Logic Pro. That's what I use. So when my fiance is doing things or calls for work, I run it through headphones, and when not, I just go through my MacBook Pro speakers. So I'm really getting into, when I practice, my touch on the instrument and how things sound. Because one thing that I've learned and had to kind of give up a little bit about on the piano is that I don't have the technical facility right now to do anything much better than play some pretty nice C major and F major scales and some chords and whatever. But having a pretty sound is about the only thing that I can really control, because I can't do anything that's technically impressive or, sophisticated or super rich harmonically or melodically. So just being aware of the sound when I'm working on a piece from the book that I'm going through or something that I'm just fiddling with, I've become like hyper attuned to, like, am I getting a pretty sound? Am I slamming my finger way too hard? And that's been something that I've been trying to take to the guitar as well, because when we get really good at things, we can sometimes lose a little bit of the view of what we're actually trying to do, in which case is make beautiful music for most of us, I think we would say. But sometimes we can get caught so in the inertia of like, oh, I'm going to play all these notes and I'm going to play this really fast, that we forget about what it actually sounds like. And that has been something, again, that I've had to really confront on the piano, because I can't do anything fast and I can't do anything really well on it. So getting into that kind of line of thinking for me has been super, super beneficial, and it's been really, really fun. It's almost like a meditative state where even though I'm just like butchering some basic Bach, Beethoven, or the Mozart music that the book is feeding me, I'm just absolutely obliterating it, playing it like half speed. I'm trying to really be aware of my touch so that there's still something kind of deep and enjoyable for me to get into. And it's something that I'm really trying to take into the guitar. So rather than just worrying about technical nuts and bolts or whatever, just really focusing on what it sounds like and how my movements and everything are kind of impacting it. Now, the third thing, and this is potentially the biggest one that I've taken away, I think it was actually a subscriber here on the channel one time I was talking about, practicing. And he called it distracticing, which is like, say, you're on YouTube right now. Maybe you have a guitar in your hand or a piano in your hand, and you watch a video or something while you're doing, you're practicing scales or doing something technical. And now I do have to say, I definitely have made some gains practicing highly repetitive things while watching, TV or watching YouTube. So it's not something that you need to completely eliminate, but it's something that I've been working to bring down significantly more, just because playing the piano takes all of my bandwidth, because I'm not good at it. I'm really not that good at it. And it takes 100% of my attention to be able to do simple things. So if I had a YouTube video running in the background while I was practicing my C major scale, I would fall apart. On the guitar, that's not a problem for me, because I've done it enough that I don't need to dedicate 100% of my attention to it all the time. And it's really made me think about kind of being present and aware of things when you're practicing, because when we have a YouTube video running in the background or when we're watching TV in the background, we can't have our attention on either side. And there's tons and tons and tons and tons of studies that have been done that humans grossly overestimate our abilities to multitask. So when you kind of go through these things, you're kind of kidding yourself if you think you're getting as good of practice out of it as if you're not. And again, playing the piano, I do not have the bandwidth to be doing all of these other things while I'm trying to practice the piano for my 30 minutes a day. So it's something that I've been trying to take away and apply to my guitar playing, in that I just want to be playing the guitar and I want to be focused on the guitar. I don't want a YouTube video playing in the background. I don't want that. Sometimes at the end of the day, where you pick up the guitar and you run through some things just to brush some dust off of it, and you maybe already got some practice in earlier, I think it's okay to have a little bit of a veg out and do stuff. It's better than doing nothing. So that can be a really big takeaway for you, maybe. That has been a big takeaway for me, is that, oh my God, am I distracted sometimes when I'm practicing, and that just focusing in on something, you can actually get more out of it in less time. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It truly helps me out more than you can know. If you want to support me in the free educational content that I put out here, you can subscribe to my Patreon, which is linked down below. All of my patrons get early access to videos, as well as cool behind the scenes sneak peeks at stuff that I'm working on. If you're looking for a different way to support me and what I'm up to, you can purchase either my ebook or my video course, which is linked down in the description below. It's a great way to get some more in-depth educational content from me that I can fit into a 10 to 15 minute YouTube video. And other than that, I'll wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you have some fun playing the guitar.